It is a common thought that you need money to have a fantastic wardrobe. Today, I'm gonna show you how you can have great style and a great wardrobe on a budget. Welcome back to Secrets of a Stylist. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Kim. I'm a fashion stylist. And for those of you who do, welcome back. I'm so excited to see you guys. Today is an important topic for me. I'm totally into this one. I get tons of questions. People want to buy nice things. You guys want to have a nice wardrobe, but you don't always have the budget that is gonna go with your taste or your style, but it's actually totally untrue. You do not need a lot of money to have a fantastic wardrobe. Style is not about money. They do not necessarily go together. Having great style and great taste is totally separate. So let's get started in today's video, and I'm gonna tell you how to have a fantastic wardrobe on a budget, and I'm gonna show you the things that you're doing and what not to do. The first things first is that you need to start with the basics. If you have a budget, it is not about buying the fancy fashion pieces. Meaning, if it has ruffles, polka dots, some sort of pattern, and you're on a budget, it's not the shirt or blouse or dress for you. All of those types of things, they all go in and out of trends. For example, polka dots are trendy right now. But if you're buying a polka dot dress or a polka dot shirt, then you are spending a lot of money that you're not actually gonna get the return on, because next season it's gonna be out and you won't have something. So first things first, start with the basics. I actually did do a video. It's one of my most popular videos. I'll put it up here. It's the 34 wardrobe basics that you must have. It's a fantastic video. Watch it after this one. Okay, so stick to the basics. So this is a really important thing. If you're walking into a store and you have a limited budget and you now know you're trying to fill your closet and get your style game on, stay away from all of those decorative aspects on clothing. You wanna go for like the plain black tees, dresses, skirts, everything that you can build off of. Jeans, plain jeans, that's your starting point. So that is tip number one. Tip number two is look for solid clothing. So I did touch on this in tip number one. Tip number one, I'm telling you not to look for ruffles and patterns and that sort of thing. And tip number two is, so if you have two options and you're walking into a store and one t-shirt is plain black, white, pink, blue, whatever color that you want to get, and the other one has a pattern, oftentimes the t-shirts that have the pattern, they're a little harder for them to make, and the solid colored t-shirts are going to actually be of higher quality. So just remember that. The same goes for any type of sweater or anything like that. Try to stick to the solid colors, not only for the reason that usually the solid color is gonna have a better, higher quality, but it's also gonna have a lot more longevity in your wardrobe. So on a budget, stick to the solid colors. The next tip I have for you, if you have a small budget to work with and want to have a fantastic wardrobe, is actually something that I do all the time, and you need to be careful with this, is I actually size up. So I actually am an extra small, but I tend to buy small because then I'm not like, my clothing is not, there's not a lot of wear and tear on it. It has a little bit of give to it. My t-shirts have a little bit of give, because when your t-shirts are constantly stretched to the max, or your dresses or your jeans, there's gonna be higher wear and tear on them. So not only does it look more effortless and classy, take this with a grain of salt. Obviously, you're not like wanting to be in some massive like boxy t-shirt or a pair of jeans that are one size up. But generally speaking, I tend to size up. So it just gives a looser, classier fit. It gives some longevity to the items, and it's just a really nice look. Speaking of loose fit, that brings me into my next tip, and that is to buy pieces that you can layer. So for example, if you only have the budget for one dress, you can apply these rules. So you're gonna go in and you're not gonna buy the dress that can only go with one pair of shoes, that has to specifically go with one set of stilettos, and you can't put anything else with it because maybe it has like puff sleeves, or like you can't throw in a jacket. So get a dress that actually is very simple, clean lines. You can throw a blazer over it, you can throw a leather jacket over it, you can throw a shawl over it, a scarf, pieces that have multi-purpose. A great skirt that can be layered, a skirt that you can wear longer, that can be, there's some skirts with like really long waistbands, so you can kind of pull them up and so they can be more of a midi skirt, or you can push it down, it can be a longer skirt. Something like that is a great option for you. The same thing goes with t-shirts. So if it's like a ruffled, big, crazy t-shirt, you're really not gonna be able to put that much on top of it. It has to be worn alone, as opposed to if you have a basic t-shirt where you can, again, layer a sweater or a jean shirt or a plaid shirt. So again, I'm always going back to that. If you're on a budget, you wanna stick to the basics and stick to pieces that you can layer. The next tip is color palette. You really want to stick to your color palette. So when you walk into a store, the stores are designed to get you excited to buy what they're selling. They have music playing in the stores, the mannequins are dressed in fun pieces, the most fun, fashionable pieces, because they need those to move out the door. They're not dressing the mannequins in the basics that you can use to layer and use for longevity. They want you to buy the fashion items. So you need to stop and think. Let's say you see a great cardigan and it's got some crazy pattern on it, or like it's hot pink. I need you to think about it. It's cool, yes, but does it go with the rest of the color palette in your wardrobe? So the problem is, if you buy those jeans, that sweater, that top, and you bring it home and it hangs in your wardrobe, but you don't have that much to wear with it, the problem with that is that you're gonna actually have to go buy more to wear that one item of clothing. And you're on a budget and you wanna be classy and you wanna build what you have. So that does not help you. So I want you to think about your color palette. What are the colors that you wear all the time? And then make sure you shop within that color palette. Shopping in your color palette brings me to my next tip. So if you would like to bring some fun, some change into your wardrobe and still keep your style consistent and build your capsule wardrobe, think about texture. So this is something I do all the time. So let's say I have on a pair of black jeans, I may not wear them with like a leather or a pleather booty. I might go with like a suede or a faux suede because I'm changing the texture. And even that little bit of change in texture from smooth to like something with a little more texture creates enough of a difference in contrast for the eyes to make the outfit look good. So let's say your color palette in your wardrobe is like navies and camels and whites and grays and blacks. So think about getting different blacks. So maybe you want like a silk tank top instead of a cotton one, a leather jacket or a vegan leather jacket, or like a sweater or a cardigan. It's in the same color palette, but maybe it's got a thicker, chunkier knit. So that would look really cool with like a silk tank top and a pair of jeans, because you're changing the texture all the way down your outfit and it can be monochromatic. So changing texture, but keeping the color the same as your color palette is a fantastic way to build your wardrobe on a budget. Spend more on the basics. So again, I hammer this home all the time. It's in all of my videos because I've been in thousands of closets, and the number one thing that I see is people do not have the basics. What I'm gonna tell you is you need all of the basics, and when you buy those, buy the best quality that you can afford, that your budget can afford. So if you find a fantastic white t-shirt, black t-shirt, whatever the basics are that you need in your wardrobe, get the best quality. So if the best quality that you can afford is one from Value Village, there's some amazing tops in there. Or it's the Gap, or it's wherever Reformation, or wherever you like, put your money in the basics, you will not go wrong. Spending your money on quality basics leads me to my last point, and building your wardrobe on a budget if you take care of the clothing that you have. So this is so important actually, and it actually really reminds me of my mom. I feel like during my journey into adulthood, I kind of got a little sloppy, and maybe I'm like throwing my jeans in the dryer and I'm like chucking that, my cotton tops on high. But my mom never used to do that. She used to really, because in the past, they didn't have the same type of disposable clothing that we have now. They maybe got one dress and they had to wash it and take care of it. And also they didn't have the same amount of disposable income available to them like maybe we do now. So I've just started to go back to those principles and really taking care of my clothes. So for my jeans, I put them in the wash, I wash them on cold, and then I hang them or lay them to dry. It's the same thing with my t-shirts and sweaters, everything. I'm doing that. I just take a little more care into washing them. And I also actually tend to use a steamer. I just did a video on this. I'll leave a link to that video up here. I show the steamer that I exactly use. It's a really good one. What that does is that gets all the wrinkles out, but it's not as harsh as an iron. And an iron tends to be a little more difficult to use. A steamer can be a little more gentler on the fabrics. You're not pressing something onto them. There's less wear and tear. So things like hanging up your clothes, washing the clothes together with the same color. So blacks with blacks and the whites with the whites. Like, don't just chuck them in on warm with like some random fabric washer. Like, take your care to read the labels. Just give them a little love. Have less and take care of more. That will really help you have an awesome wardrobe on a budget. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below. That is how I can see you and we can hang out. I will come right to your mailbox every Friday or every time I post a new video. So I will see you guys on the next video. I hope you love this. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought of the video and if you have any tips and tricks for anyone else.